What's up, y'all? This is Jonathan Lippy, Beyond the Harmony, beyondtheharmony.com, back again with my special co-host.
My name is Cecil West.
And this is Beyond the Harmony. And this is your question of the week. The question of the week, this one, Cecil, I'm going to make you do some homework. I'm going to make you make some choices. I'm going to make you have to break it down and go through an entire 20 years because the question of the week that was presented to us, and it's a good one.
Andy 118, 1985 wanted us to create
a fictional collection, volume 3 track list. But these are the qualifications. This is the criteria.
Give me the rules.
These are the rules.
Fantastic intro, by the way, John. Fantastic.
I meant to say the one and only, because you are certainly the one and only Cecil.
Fire emojis all through the comments for John. Lay the rules on me, John. What the fuck are the rules to pick in this compilation? Because I know it just can't be something easy, right?
Right. And even if it was, I got to lay down these rules because of your mind can't just go with something simple. It's got to be complex. So here are the rules. Obviously, it can't be from the collection volume 1 or the collection volume 2. Obviously, it can't be from a Bone Thugs and Harmony group album that was an official CD release.
Even though they've done that, they've done that on the other 2 compilations, though.
Yeah, but I think the time period, and I think the person wanting this question of the week of the collection volume 3, I think it was implied to not for that it's not going to be a greatest hits because those collections came out before the greatest hits. So it's not so we're not
it's
trying
a little
to make
different.
it
little different back then than now.
Right. And we're going with the idea that in my opinion, the collection volume 1 and 2 were aggregating, bringing together songs that were from soundtracks, from collabos and stuff that were all over the place into a centralized official CD, perfect quality, all that. So it can't be from those Bone albums. It can't even be from a Bone Soul album. It can't be from the collection 1 and 2, and it cannot be from the Lazy Bone Lost Archives volume 1. It can be from Special Delivery, and it can be from Unify the prequel, because those were never official releases. I mean, they've kind of become de facto official, but they're not really official like Lost Archives volume 1. So with that criteria,
so all
you got
those
any questions?
All those little like Japanese imports.
Yeah,
those are you could potentially pick from one of those.
You can pick from if it was like Thug Always or Behind the Harmony, because I don't think that was a Bone official release. It could be from those.
Okay.
It's just not the volume collection 1 by Lazy Bone.
I'll play your little game. How many songs are we picking?
So we have nominees that exceed my ability to count. Okay, so they're all going to be displayed on screen. You can see them here. And we have to pick a selection of 16 tracks, 8 for you, 8 for me. We're trying to select the best possible 16 of what would have been the best possible collection volume 3. So how do you
the first two collections I think had 13 apiece. So 16 for the last one came out, I don't even know, 2000. So we're now 21 years later. I think it makes sense that they'd give us a little bump up. 16 tracks.
Yeah, to make up for lost time, because the time between collection 1 and 2 wasn't that long. This has been like 20 years. So we got to give them
16 tracks, no album tracks, no collection tracks, no Lost Archive tracks. And you got a list of a bunch of nominees, but I'm not limited to those. Those are just like the best ones.
Oh yeah,
that you could think of.
If you could think of something that I didn't think of on this list, and this list by no means is exhaustive or thorough, think of this more of like Grammy nominees. Each year, hundreds, if not thousands of songs get created, but only a select amount get curated to select from. So this is John Lippy's curated list, and this doesn't mean these are my favorite songs. These are just ones that I felt, not even, some of these are just nominees that are toss outs just to give homage to them. And I didn't even bother putting the whole, it's not like I put the Fixtape 3 Special Delivery. I didn't put the whole track list there. I just put this is the list to choose from. This is like when we did draft label kings. It's not everybody. These are just, and if you got something better,
Yeah.
we'll go with that. So you ready
I,
to get started?
I like it. I think that it's interesting because everybody else gets to pick 16, but you and I are gonna split one to make it even more complicated. So it's a lot of fun. I'm with it. I'm with it.
Awesome. All right. So, I mean, we're just going to start at the top of this list here. There's
However,
celebration. I
however,
mean,
however you want to do it, Johnny.
all right. Well, my first pick, I'm picking celebration. Okay. The one with the game and Bone Thugs and Harmony. My idea is that it's a Bone Thugs and Harmony track with the game. It's an homage to First of the Month. It was a pretty big track. It brought Bone back 2013. I think it's deserving to be on the list. So I'm going with celebration. So what's your first pick?
My first pick comes right after it. You got it right there. I would definitely pick Lord. I thought Lord was a hard-hitting feature that made a big difference to the fans in the Bone world, and it brought back like some Bone sound at a time where didn't seem as eternal, and I just think it was a hard-hitting feature. Makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with Lord. Lord is awesome. The next one's a newer track for me. My next pick is Survivor. I can't remember if it was called Survival or Survivor, but you know that song I'm talking about? It's a new one. These days are made for survival.
Oh yeah, it was
Survival.
it was Survival.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
like
It
that's
it had a Marley on it.
yeah. I mean, that was a pretty hard hitting, like good sounding single. You know, they never put it on an album, but it's a dope track. So I'm going with Survival for my second track. What do you have?
Wow. I wouldn't have seen that coming, but it's cool that you picked it. That's what makes this fun. Here's what I would go with. I would go with, and this is because I'm keeping in mind that on the other collections they gave us stuff that we hadn't heard before. Not so much on the first one. The first one, I think you were able to hear all that stuff for the most part, but you had to have those CDs. But on the second one, they straight up gave us some fucking songs we had no idea existed, right? So my next pick would be, we know this exists, and this is obviously a fantasy world, but that Mr. Bill Collector with Eazy-E, if that was a
Ooh,
possibility, that
yeah.
has to go on there.
That's gotta go. That's like the Sleepwalkers of the album. That's the B and K of the album. That's the draw, the Easy E draw. Great pick.
Yeah, I love that
Great
one.
pick. Okay. Yeah, man. I can't top that one. That wow. Great one. I'd love to hear that. And you know, going along those same lines of those hidden tracks out of nowhere, I'm going with Bud Smokers Only Part 2, the one with Thug Queen and Powder P and Crazy Bone. It was like a Mo Thugs cut track. Remember that?
Yo, yeah. Mm-hmm. It was like
So
it was unreleased or whatever.
yeah. Yep. I'm going with that one. That one, that's a good track. I don't know why they cut that from the album. That did I say Mr. Bill Collector too? I said Bud Smokers Only too. That's the name of it, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had all the Mo Thugs on it, Powders
Yeah.
on it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
That's totally collection right there.
I want to make sure that I'm not picking all. I don't want to make the Lost Archives, so I want to have some stuff that makes it collection. There was a few songs, as I think about the collection, it wasn't, again, it's not all hits, it's not all greatest hits. Some of it was, like there were some remixes on there, but then there was like CL and IA and stuff. I think I would pick I Don't Give a Fuck with Mystical and Crazy Bone.
Yeah, bro.
And Lil Jon.
Yeah, man. That's got to be on it. Yeah, and I think they had that on one of those bootleg albums, but it's not on Lost Archives. So that definitely has got to go on there. I'm surprised they haven't put that on. I guess it probably belongs to Lil Jon, but this is fantasy, so we're going with that. I love that pick. I absolutely love that pick.
Yeah, that's tough too, because it's a solo. It's just crazy, but they did that too. It's just, when you're picking solos, it's like it's really got to bang then, because it's the Bone Thugs and Harmony compilation and we're only picking one, so it's got to bang.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So for my next pick, should have been my first pick right off the top of my head, but I just thought of it now, is because this is what I wanted on collection one. And when it wasn't on collection one, I thought for sure it was going to be on collection volume two, and it wasn't. And this is the most collection song possible. This maybe even be track one on the album, and it's Everyday Thing from the show soundtrack. Like
Oh yeah.
that is the ultimate pick right there. I mean, that's my number one right there.
Yeah, that makes that makes super sense too. Like, I can't believe that that wasn't on one of the other ones. Can you believe that? I can't believe that it wasn't on one of the other ones.
Yeah, I think it was because Def Jam probably owned it, and they probably
Oh
couldn't come
yeah,
to terms
yeah.
with Ruthless or something. So
Mhm.
that's my guess.
Right.
But yeah, that should have, because especially on the collection one, they had all the major soundtrack songs that were huge except that one. And there was some soundtrack songs they missed, but they had Shoot 'Em Up, but they didn't have the show. And that was, to me, that was outside of Days of Our Lives, that was probably the best soundtrack song.
Yeah. No, I agree. And that makes sense about the Def Jam thing as well. For sure.
Yeah.
Well, man, it starts to get fucking hard at this point. What was the Demiza one's More Than Thugs, right?
Yep.
That's what I want. That's got to go on there.
More Than Thugs. Good one.
Yeah, I had,
Good.
dude. This is fucking tough. Every pick, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah,
What are
bro.
we at? What are we at?
So we both have selected 4 songs.
Okay.
And yeah, that the Mrs. song, that has in the millions of plays. People were
Yeah.
really feeling that one.
Uh-huh.
Like that
Yeah.
song actually has more
Woo,
plays than
this is
songs that
tough.
are on New Waves.
Yeah. I was the first the first couple picks, especially because we don't have 16, we have 8 apiece. The first couple picks, it was like, oh, this is no problem. But now, like, I'm like, ooh, there's so much shit to pick from, and there's stuff not even on this list that's kind of
Yeah.
running through my head. And I'm like, I only got a couple picks. It's tough.
Yeah, I may even go back and modify my survival pick when we get to the end, but the other
Yes.
2 I'm confident about, or the other 3 I'm
Yeah.
confident about. But this next one is a very collection-esque pick, if not completely collection-esque. And I'm
Mhm.
going with Thug Music Plays On from the Down to Earth soundtrack. That
Mhm.
was like one of the first times we heard Crazy, Lazy, and Wish do a trio. And I forgot the name of the instrumental that they used. It's I think it's I'm Human or something from the 80s. But Thug Music Plays On is definitely going on my collection.
It's a good pick. I'm I'm stressed out about picking. Okay, I'm trying not to make this super unreleased, but I am keeping in mind the collection volume 2 and how that worked out. And we already got the Easy E track on here. If there's one thing that I know about the collection, it's got to have the Easy E track. So we got the Easy E track covered. I was thinking about Master P, but then I remembered Hook It Up was on the collection too, and I was like, okay, we don't have to go Master P again. I'm trying not to.
Yeah,
Fuck,
it
man.
gets tough, man.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I don't want to go all unreleased, and there's like 2 unreleased ones I want. I'm gonna go Into the Future.
Oh yeah, bro. I was hoping you'd pick that because I was looking at my slots
Fuck,
left and I'm thinking, like, am I gonna get Into the Future on here? Into the
fuck.
Future is like such a favorite Bone fan track that never was. And I mean, it's to the point where there's like factions. There's like an Into the Future faction of that. So great pick. Thank you for picking that because
It was tough because I bet you know the one that's right on the tip of my tongue too. So this is tough.
yeah. So my next one is one of my favorite Bone songs that's ever been made, and it's not even credited to Bone. It's credited to Kane, and it's The
Oh
Land.
shit.
Kane featuring Bone Thugs and Harmony, The Land. I think this is if we ever did what's the most slept on Bone feature, is The Land. This song, again, I'm a bass head as far as bass rap, rap music goes, but bass in the song. I don't use drugs, but I love the bass. The Land hits so hard in the car. Kane hangs with all the Bone Thugs. And even Wishbone drops. If they say, what's Wishbone's best verse in the last decade? Wishbone on The Land kills it. Kane kills it. Obviously, Busy, Crazy, Lazy, and Flesh kill it. So I'm going with Kane, with Bone, The Land as my 5th pick. And I'm very confident with that pick. I love that song.
I have two that I'm that I'm really trying to choose between, and neither one of them I think you would see coming. But my reasoning for picking this is because there were some just like curveballs on the collection. And again, it doesn't have to be a hit, or it doesn't have to be that. There's no real qualifications for the first two collections, except for it was almost a collection of unique stuff. You remember all the, like, speaking of unique, you remember like all the unique remixes we got and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So the qualifications kind of varied, and I'm between Dr. Doctor remix with Busy Bone
Wow.
on the unique album, and Shackled Up from the Oz soundtrack with Crazy Bone. And I'm gonna pick Shackled Up
Yeah.
because Busy Bone's part was so small, but I remember how awesome and significant it was during the BB Gambini era. But Shackled Up was a totally different fucking menace. And I always feel like it's a little slept on, and I'm like, it's almost too bad that it was on the Oz soundtrack. And it got kind of lost in the shuffle. Like, we as Bone fans appreciate it, but if it was like on like a Crazy Bone album, I think it'd be even more praised than it was. And that's why I'm like, all right, throw it on there, because that album deserves the praise.
Yeah, that's a great song. And the nice part about that song is it's kind of gaining a second steam. I've seen a lot of people giving it its just due after all this time. And now that you brought up Dr. Doctor, what's going on was, does Hell's Movie count? Because all that makes me think of is Give Up the Ghost. And was Give Up the Ghost on volume 1 or 2 or the Lost Archives?
No, Give Up the Ghost could qualify. I
only have
gotta
2
think real
picks
hard
left.
about it. Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, I don't know if you want to give Up the Ghost one of your picks, but
Oh man, dude, that was one of my favorites of all time.
Busy Bone
Geez.
came super, super correct on it.
Yeah. I didn't draw the connection until later on that the lyrics from that were from one of the songs in Hell's Movie.
I think it was Confessions.
Can't remember the name of it now, but like that kind of made it drop a little bit because I always thought Busy made all that for Give Up the Ghost, and it came from something else. All right, let me see here. We're cutting it close here. I got 2 picks. Man, okay. To make this album extra long, I'm going with the Bone Thug Cypher. Did that ever make?
Oh
Is Bone Thug Cypher on Lost Archives?
no, that was way after Lost Archives.
All right, so I'm going with the Bone Thug Cypher just because it's a historical song. I can't believe I only have one more pick because there's so much more that I need to put on it. But I think this collection wouldn't be complete without the Bone Cypher.
Wow. Well, I see on here, and if it's on the list on the screen, Everything 100.
Well, that ended up on World War III.
Okay.
Kinda.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. So I was like, oh, I bet John wants that, but he can ease his mind in knowing that it was on an album already.
Yeah, that would have been probably my first pick if, as you know.
So I'm gonna throw one that may be a pick of yours already.
Wow.
But I'm gonna put it on there because it makes sense, and here's why. I'm gonna take the Coming Home version with TQ because it's a big track from New Waves.
Yeah.
And part of the collection is giving you the Atlantis remix. It's giving you the DJ Unique Change the World remix. It's giving you like these alternate versions. And because that was such a large song for New Waves, I think that that's super cool to put the alternate version with TQ on there, and all the Bones on that, right? At least Lazy Bones on there.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's I love that. I like that version better than the Stephen Marley version.
It totally makes sense to have that on the collection.
Yeah.
That type of song's a fit. And I think, like, I actually like the Marley version better, but because I'm a guy that really loves the specifics of the project, like a project, the collection projects always seem like the only rule is there's no rules.
Yeah. No,
And that you give people the unique.
Yeah, and the reason this absolutely qualifies because I think it was on like a Demiza mixtape, but that doesn't count in the Bone universe. So
Yeah, no. So that's my pick.
That's a great pick. Thank you for picking that because that one I kept looking at that one. I'm like, man, is that going on this thing? Is that going on this thing? So I'm down to my last pick. I wanted to get the originators in there. I wanted to get the DOA remix in there. I wanted to get In the Way in there. I wanted to get Ain't No Hoes in there. But I got to go with a Grammy hit. I got to go with the Riding Dirty with Chameleonaire. Crazy Bone.
Picked that earlier.
Crazy Bone and Chameleonaire. How can we not have the Grammy? Bringing home a Grammy. I can't believe I'm picking this because this isn't even something I would pick. But it's got to be. It's gotta be Mighty Mo Thug. It's got to be. So I'm going with that one.
I'm gonna offer you the ability here in your own game something after I take my pick, because there's a move that I think I gotta make based on you picking Ryan Dirty. But my final pick, because I think that if this came out, if it was 2021, the collection volume 3 drops, and this was the track list, and the track I'm about to say was on it, I think the internet would go fucking bananas, because they've been going bananas for it. So if I was going to pick one more track, even though I'm the king of the unreleased, I would pick Mo Thug Children.
Woo!
What we believe to be called Mo Thug Children. We don't even know it's so unreleased because we've only heard it in a live stream. And all we know is Busy and Crazy's on it, and that it sounds like it's some 97, 98 dope shit. And if it was right now and it was dropping right now, I think that would be the one that every Bone fan would buy this.
Yes, bro. Mo Thug Children on that, along, because if we're getting that and we're getting that Bud Smokers Only 2, and there was like one other song that was from that Mo Thugs cut, but I don't remember the name of it. If that one was on it too, that would be killer. So I missed what your track 6 was. I had your Into the Future. Do you remember what you picked after Into the Future?
I've picked Lord.
Yeah.
I've picked Mr. Bill Collector with Easy. I picked Into the Future. I picked More Than Thugs.
Mm-hmm.
Coming Home. I Don't Give a Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Shackled Up.
Oh, that was it.
And then finally I picked
Both Thug Children.
Mo Thug Children. That's my 8.
That's a solid 8 on your side.
Hit him with the whole track list, John, and then I have a proposition for you.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you mine. I'm gonna give you Cecil's. Mine, it's gonna go back and forth. I had Celebration. Cecil had Lord, Survival, Bill Collector, Volume 2, Spud Smokers Only, Part 2. I Don't Give a Fuck. Everyday Thing from the show. More Than Thugs, the Demiza version. Thug Music Plays On. Into the Future, The Land featuring Kane, Shackled Up, Cypher, 20-year reunion, Coming Home, the TQ version by Demiza, Riding Dirty with Chameleonaire, and Mo Thug Children, the unreleased track Fire. So what's your proposition there, Chief?
So this is my proposition because it kind of seemed a little Crazy Bone heavy for a collection as you go over that track list. Like it just felt like, oh, we got a bunch of Crazy Bone solos or features in there. So you had said something about maybe you don't want survival if you could swap it out. And I'm thinking if you want to do a swap out on that, I'll do a swap out on I don't give a fuck. Because
Wow.
even as good as I don't give a fuck is, we got a bunch of crazy bone shit in there now. Somebody's got to go. And I think that you off Lil Jon and Mystical at the end of the day. It's not about off and Crazy Bone. It's about getting them the fuck off to make room for something else.
Well, how's this? How about we up the game to 18 tracks? Because
The
18
European import.
well, no, this is both of us get a bonus track, right? So because I'm actually in ways I'm good with Survival being there because it's a newer song and you kind of need something from the present on there. I mean, I have the land, but like there's a part of me that's, you know, in the sense of there's always some kind of weird new thing thrown in there, and Survival kind of fit because in the overall scheme, like nobody is bananas for Survival, but it's a really good song and they performed it live. And but I see what you're saying. We're talking, you're saying we're talking collection, baby. You know, so yeah, let's I'm crossing Survival out. I think we both should get a bonus though. All right. So you could cross one out and we're gonna give you a bonus to make it 18, unless you're completely against that.
I think I think that everybody's been playing for 16 this whole time. You're gonna fuck people up a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like that's the bonus, right? You know, you think you're restricted to 16 and bam, you get this extra special gift at the end.
I got your European export. I got you.
All right, so I'm going to give you a cross out and I'm going to give you a bonus. All right, so you wanted to cross out I don't give a fuck. You still want to cross out I don't give a fuck even though you get a bonus here?
All right. Well, I'll pick the bonus first.
Okay. Cuz I think I don't give a fuck's got to be on this collection.
Okay. Well,
but it's up to you. It's your choice though.
I'm going to pick my bonus first, which my bonus is way too strong with Busy Bone.
That was that was gonna be my bonus. I was gonna pass on Give Up the Ghost for Way Too Strong. That was right on my.
And let me tell you what, I've just somehow overlooked it, or I would have picked it a long time ago.
Yeah, same here. Way Too Strong is like I would even kick off a group track to get that on there. So thankfully you picked Way Too Strong because man, that needed to be on there. Let me see here.
I still think it's really Crazy Bone heavy. So after you make your bonus pick, I might have to make a move.
Yeah, well,
I'm thinking of the best of the album. I'm thinking for the best of the album.
Yeah, it's for the album, bro. We're doing it for the album. Doing it for the album. All right, looking at all these, you know, I'm eyeing that points, and it's not me that wants it. But every time we do some kind of video in the comments, people are always pointing out that we always forget the points. It's not my pick.
I love the points.
But people are always saying like, dog, how are you going to leave the points out? How are you leaving the points out? But
I think there was like 200 remixes of it. The best one we know as Bone fans is the Unique remix, but I love the points.
Yeah. Man,
I almost picked it. I almost picked it earlier.
I would have picked the Originators, but I'm not because it's already on like 2 of those bootleg albums. Because that one looks like it should be on it, but they've released that a gazillion times. So I'm gonna make it Busy Bone heavy and throw you off because you picked Way Too Strong. And if Give Up the Ghost is not on this, you know that it's like not making the Hall of Fame 3 times. You're on the list for Hall of Fame induction, and you don't make it 3 times, and it's like the Don Mattingly of Bone Thugs and Harmony songs is Give Up the Ghost. So I'm my bonus track is Give Up the Ghost.
Wow,
it's got to be there.
Wow.
So now I just made it busy heavy.
I got to do something to even things out in a crazy way. Then you just made me have to even things out in a crazy way. So this is my move, and you don't see this move coming. I should just pick up the points because that's what makes sense. I should knock out I Don't Give a Fuck and grab the points.
You think the points is worth more than I Don't Give a Fuck with?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Little John and Mystical.
Historically as Bone, look at the fucking lineup of the points with
Yeah.
Bone early in their career. Like, come on,
A-
Busta Rhymes, Biggie, Redman. I mean, come on, bro.
And it's a soundtrack song, so it's really hitting that collection style.
Coolio's on it.
Okay. So you the one you would sacrifice is I don't give a fuck for the points.
I don't give a fuck has to go because Lil Jon and Mystical aren't enough, but I'm not sacrificing it for the points.
Okay. Which one
You
you
re-
sac?
you ready for your like what the fuck moment? This is where the 8 and 8's gonna kill you.
Well, okay, but we had 9 and 9 at this point.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
9 and 9. This is where the split is gonna kill you.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna sac. I'm
Uh-oh.
gonna sac. Listen, this is the even the playing field a little bit.
Oh no, I know what's getting killed here. You're killing me here, bro. I know
I
what's
don't
coming.
I don't give a fuck is going.
Okay.
Fallen with Montel Jordan and Flesh is jumping on.
You're gonna kill I don't give a fuck and replace it with Fallen with Montel and Flesh.
Listen, it I think that for Flesh fans, it makes sense. And because it's the collection and it's not a greatest hits, it was a big song, it was a single. Flesh fans love it. There's not enough Flesh and Bone on here. It eliminates a little bit of Crazy Bone, and it gives you now this thing touches on like all ends of the map. It can't cover the whole thing, so you just got to touch on little pieces everywhere. I almost picked the Wishbone feature just to give
Oh,
Wishbone some shine. I almost did that, but I decided Flesh and Montel Jordan was the better way to go versus Wish and some unknowns.
somebody gonna die tonight. Yeah, that feels like that's a collection track. So
Almost did that, but I got a Montel Jordan.
So, all right. I know the Bone fans have disagreed with me probably countless times. I think this may be the first time in Cecil West history people are falling out of their chairs saying, bro, you're going to put Fallen. And then other people are like, no, of course, Fallen over. I don't give a fuck. What are you talking about? So I feel so bad killing. I don't give a fuck.
It's like the collection compilation is different. It's unique treasures. Think of you're opening a treasure chest. Okay.
Yeah.
Not everything in it is going to be a piece of gold. There's going to be some gold. There's going to be some jewels. There's going to be maybe some maps. There's going to be all kinds of things in this chest. If it's all gold, it's boring. And I'm not saying Falling's not gold. I'm saying think of the other collections. Okay.
Yeah.
You had some stuff that kind of, it was all over the place, right? Like I just think that it fits. It gives us a little bit of Flesh and Bone.
All right. Well, then.
But listen, because we're this far into it, I didn't want this to be this long, but because we're this far into it, and we're already going through it in this way, I'm now down to play the finalize and to kill some shit off. So if you got something to kill it, I'm now down to play that game.
To kill, you mean to remove tracks?
Yeah, to swap out. Now that we got a set thing and you got it on the screen, I assume it's on the screen.
Yeah, but I thought you killed out I don't give a fuck for Fallen.
I did, but now, okay, now I'm down to go through the exercise of if you feel like there's something that fits better than Fallen, I'm down to play this game.
All right, well, let me just say this. Because you killed off I don't give a fuck, and now that it's not on the list, I'm killing Survival and putting I don't give a fuck in its place. But I could tell you that I'm really torn between I don't give a fuck and taking Mariah Carey, Don't Forget About Us.
Because I almost picked that earlier.
We don't have any pop tracks on here, but it's like, I almost want to kill off Give Up the Ghost for Don't Forget About Us, but I feel like the Bone fans would be like, how could you do that to Busy? He missed the Hall of Fame twice on that. So I'm killing Survival because I don't think that hurts a single Bone fan in all of planet Earth.
Not me. I'm glad.
Yeah, Survival's gone. I don't give a fuck is in that place. I really want to put Don't Forget About Us there, but because I almost feel like that one's harder to find, and I don't give a fuck.
Hey, you know what wasn't on anything that
Hmm.
isn't on this list that I just thought of that I would put on
Hmm.
this? I think it's only on the unified prequels. I at some place would put the Earth song Michael Jackson flip.
Oh yeah. They don't care about us. Was it or?
No, it was
No, I'm thinking of.
it was it was like, it was a playoff Earth song. I
Yeah,
don't know why I
yeah,
can't think of the bone version.
yeah. Yeah, that was okay, but like I would you kill any track on our 18 for that?
Look what we've done. That's what it was called.
Look what we done. There you go. Yeah.
Dude, that's a collection ass song. Think about
Yeah,
it.
you're right.
All
It
those
is.
unique remix. That's a collection ass song.
Yeah, it is. It is very collection. Let's go through what didn't make it, although it's on the screen, but just
It's on this.
rapidly, right?
Do it.
So now Survival's not on there. DOA remix In the Way with 3-6 Mafia. Ain't No Hose with Twister didn't make it. Reach for the Stars, Twinkle Twinkle. It's the whole group, but whatever. Don't Forget About Us with Mariah Carey. Music Makes Me High. The Originators. Toast to That, which is a Cecil West favorite. Warriors Part 1 and 2 with AC Killer. Thug Pit. That was a mega group right there. Here's a funny one. Take the Lead, Wanna Ride. I bet you half the Bone fans don't even know that exists. All on You. This ain't a game. This ain't a game. Little Easy. Pay with Isham. Dead and Gone. Master P. The point. Did the points make it?
Nah, it didn't. It should have.
Wow, the points didn't make it. Till I Die Part 2 with MGK, 1999, Lapso Laps, Gon' Do with Burner, Making Good Love with Avant. I think was Adina Howard on that?
I don't know.
No.
On the
I'm
Making
thinking
Good
of
Love? No.
No, I'm thinking of The World Has Too Many Freaks. And then we got Riding Dirty, Spit Your Game. Wow, Spit Your Game. That was a big one.
Yeah, but that was on the Lost Archives.
Oh,
Had
was it?
Yeah, it had the remix with Crazy and it was Crazy, Lazy, and Wish were all
You're
on
right. You're right. That was on it.
Mhm.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank God. Whew. Angels with Dirty Faces. Like that was one that like nobody was really bananas for, but everybody liked the name and they
I
liked
really
that it
like
was
that song.
like a puffy remix or puffy
I
track.
really like that it was puffy. I don't want to get off on a tangent, but when you heard it, when you pictured what was going on, did Busy look like BB Gambini in it?
I was just so thrown off with the instrumental. The instrumental like lacked like a drum beat to it.
I liked it. I liked all of it.
It was strange. Like, and I never heard a perfect quality version of it. It was always like a internet rip.
But it didn't belong on the collection.
No.
Yeah.
If I die, we got that. Let's All Get High. Oh man,
Yeah.
That's not on.
And-
Oh no, that's the other one.
And you know what would have made more sense was the remix. Like the Let's All Get High remix is like there's nothing more collection than that.
Yeah. Wow. All right, that's going on collection volume 4, bro. Good Times. Wow, Good Times. Crazy and Fat Joe. That one's really collection-esque. Walk Like a Warrior, another great one. Crazy and Dead Prez. Doctor didn't make it, right?
No,
That wasn't on your list. That was like a honorable mention for you, right?
yeah. I wanted to pick it, but it wasn't enough. There's not Busy's on it for 11 seconds.
Vanilla Lights is like, I want to interview somebody that did that song because I feel like that song has a lot of intrigue. Stay True, bro. That's a good one with Trey the Truth. Oh man, this one's sad that this didn't make it. Blade from the Blade soundtrack, Busy Bone.
Yep. Busy and Majesty. Yep.
Friday with Crazy. So these are more soundtrack tracks that should have been on a collection, but what are you gonna do? I Don't Want to Die with Coolio. Welcome to Real Life with all those guys. Headhunters, Wrapped Up, Busy and J Cass. Until We Rich with Ice Cube. Untouchable with Tupac. Shout out to Blaze, YNTG.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The Craft with Johnny Denver. Ain't nothing like Money in a Ziploc Bag. That's a fan favorite. Somebody Gonna Die Tonight with Wish. Battle Cry with what was it? Gold.
Gold. Yeah, gold. Busy.
Here's one: Mafia Lifestyle, Booyah Tribe, and Lazy Bone.
I love that song too. I love the
Eh,
other Gold song too. The Gold and Lazy Bone and the rest of the Mo Thugs are on it.
And I don't know the name of this one, but it was the Kanishki guys with Lazy Bone.
Was that the
They're like Hawaiian or something.
Samoan? Yeah.
Yeah. High as Me. That's a good song, man. That High as Me. Please Believe It with Doggy's Angels. I think was that Doggy's Angels or was that Silky Fine?
Yeah, I
No,
think
Silky
that was,
Fine's Your Style. Please Believe It
yeah.
was Lazy Bone and Doggy's Angels. Hating on Me, Two Tone, Twin Towers, Busy and Jim Jones. I Got Five on Us. Murder. That was one of your lazy. See, we didn't get a lazy single, but Murder was definitely a dope lazy one.
I almost picked that one, and it was just the fact that it was like DJ Unique's, like, no, who the fuck were they?
Yeah.
The art,
yeah.
but the like that song bangs. I've picked it for other shit. And the song bangs. The beat bangs like Thug Love Part 2 or something, but it's just one Lazy Bone verse.
We got Up There, Project Pat and Crazy Bone. Up There. We got Your Style, Silky Fine and Busy and Snoop.
I almost picked that.
Murder on My Mind, Mafia 6. Your Love Don't Make No Sense to Me, Gerald Levert and Lazy. Paradise. Oh man, that didn't make it. TQ and Crazy Bone. Nowhere to Run, Nowhere to Hide. TQ, Crazy and Jermaine Dupri. Pain, Aaron Lafayette with Crazy. Midwest Choppers, Tech Nine and Crazy. And Hydro with Twisted.
And
there's
that's
plenty more.
just what John had. There's so many more. There's so many more that could be on that list. That's an impressive list that you came up with, just that alone. I didn't add anything to that. So outside of the, there's a couple that I was like, oh, do you have this? But
yeah,
that was impressive to come up with that. And like I said, we know that there's even more that could be on there.
Well, we know that we could go on for days and days. Now we want to know, what would you pick? Put your list in the below in the comments, because Beyond the Harmony, Cecil West and John Lippy love to read what you guys come up with. This is our 18 track list. It was 16 plus 2 bonuses. Now it's your turn. Feenics Ryzin, right on out.
Beyond the